Welcome to my channel. This is an indication of some of the things that I cover on a regular basis in my videos. If you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to do so, and don't forget to click the little bell so that you'll get notified of future videos. Please feel free to share my videos on your social media, and I hope you enjoy the video which follows. Well, hello everybody. You like my new COVID-19 hairdo? There's somebody that might be watching this 10 years into the future wondering what on earth I'm talking about. This is in the middle of the pandemic for the COVID-19 virus. I'm refusing to go to a barber shop and sit with a lot of other people, even though I think they've been closed, but they're soon going to give them permission to open. So I gave myself a very fancy hairdo. I'm going to try making, once again, popovers. If you've been watching my channel for a while, there's a video out there that I did 2 or 3 years ago. I think I even said in the video that they weren't as nice as I had made in the past. They just didn't rise as much as I would like them to. So I've just recently found a recipe, the Jordan Pond House Best Popover recipe. If you're not from the state of Maine or not familiar with New England, Jordan Pond is in Acadia National Park, not too far from Bar Harbor, Maine. And the Jordan Pond House restaurant is an amazing place. Only there once, a number of years ago, when my mother was working at the Roosevelt International Park here. Some of the people that she worked with had been down there for the afternoon tea, which is popovers and strawberry jam and tea, and she wanted to go. So my sister was visiting in the summer, and the three of us headed out for Jordan Pond. That's an incredible place. When we arrived, there was a young lady sitting at a desk in front of the restaurant under an umbrella for the shade, taking reservations. And I noticed as I walked by, a man stepped up to her and said he'd like to make reservations for a table for so many for this evening. And she said, "No sir, I'm sorry. I'm taking reservations for tomorrow night. We're already booked solid for tonight." Well, with the afternoon tea, it's not quite that bad. It's just on a first come, first served basis, and we were lucky whatever time it was we got there. We were seated quite quickly. The popovers there are something, should be in a framed photograph somewhere. They're just beautiful, and they are delicious, and as I say, they serve them with strawberry jam. When we were leaving, my sister presented me with a bag with a box in it. They have a gift shop, and she had gone into the gift shop and bought me this popover pan. I've used it a number of times with better success than I had the last time, but the interesting thing about the bag that it was in, evidently the person who owns that restaurant and the gift shop, at least at the time, and this was over 20 years ago, also owns a gift shop in downtown Bar Harbor and the gift shop on the top of Cadillac Mountain. I remember laughing at the time and saying, I don't know where he lives, but they just deliver the money to him in an armored truck every day, because that's a license to print money. I love Bar Harbor. It's a beautiful spot. I always feel sorry for the people that actually live there in the summertime, because it is just crawling with tourists. Bumper to bumper traffic down in there. A very popular site, very, very beautiful, and Acadia National Park is huge and wonderful as well. Well, as I said, I'm going to try the Jordan Pond's recipe, and hopefully it'll work as well as theirs do. Very few ingredients. 2 large eggs at room temperature. I'm using 3 eggs because mine are not large eggs. They're at best they're medium. A cup of whole milk, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a pinch of baking soda. And that's exactly what I put in that, is a pinch, and a cup of flour. I've made the recipe that was on the box with the pan several times, and there's no mention of baking soda. And this is a very minimal amount, but evidently they add it, so I'm going to add it. The first thing to do is to sift the dry ingredients here. Some flour. pinch of soda, quarter teaspoon of salt. With my sieve, the salt never goes through, so I dump that in again on top. Now the eggs get beaten for, what does it say, 3 minutes or so until they're sort of a lemon color. I'll bring you over and show you what that looks like when I get it started here. I think we'll call that a nice lemon color. And now you add half of the milk with the beater going at its slowest speed, it says. You beat that to combine it. Now, with the beater again going on its slower speed, we'll add the dry ingredients. And when they are mixed, we can stop beating, it says. Scrape down the sides if there's anything to scrape down. Doesn't seem to be much. Well, I guess over where you can't see it, there is some flour. Beating at a medium speed, add the remaining milk, and this gets beat for 2 minutes. That's had its 2 minutes, and now you grease the either muffin tin if you're using a muffin tin, or a popover pan if you have a popover pan. I guess I didn't mention earlier, this would work just as well in a muffin tin. My oven has been preheated to 425 degrees, and this goes in the oven, now that they have been oiled, to preheat for 5 minutes. During that time, the mixer will be on high speed, as high as it will go, hopefully, I guess, whipping some air into the batter. Well, it's had its long beating. If I can get that off the sand. The pan is still in the oven. I'm going to bring it out shortly. You strain this now to get rid of any lumps that might be in it. And there were no lumps. That's good. So I will get the pan under the oven and we'll move on to the next step. Well, now to fill the, or half fill at least I guess, the little cups here. Let's see how far it goes. It says it should be the consistency of heavy cream, and that's just what it reminds me of. I think that's it. Probably got more in some than others, that's usually what I do. Now this goes in the 425 degree oven for 15, let me check here to make sure. Yes, for 15 minutes. And then without opening the door, you reduce the temperature to 350 and bake for another 15 to 20 minutes. So I'll show you what they look like when they come out of the oven. Well, there they are, hot out of the oven, certainly looking better than the last batch that I made. Just waiting for them to cool enough so I can get one out of the pan. You might be able to hear the kettle boiling in the background. I'll meet you in the dining room with a cup of tea. Well, I figure if one is okay, two must be even better, right? Tear one of these open. They're best served warm. As warm as you can serve them out of the oven. These are still quite warm. Jordan Pond serves them with butter. Oh yes, butter in the lap here. Jordan Pond serves them with butter and strawberry jam. I'm having raspberry jam. I don't think they, at least when I was there, they didn't give you any choice. That's how they serve them, that's what you get. I've often thought I'd like to get in their kitchen to see what's going on, because they must sell thousands of these every day. Very good. Well, I think that's a popover recipe that works. And as usual, when I do a recipe like that I have a link to, I will put a link to the recipe below the video on YouTube. So I'll get this put together and upload it as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching. They are so good.